сделала ей беду, потому что там была ванная, я расплескала воду на втором этаже, я страшно переживала.
Ну, не важно, да.
Потому что это было плохо. Но особенное чувство уважения, восхищения, я бы даже сказала, коленопреклонение перед ней, как перед человеком, как перед женщиной, как перед матерью.
Really, Svetlana was, well, I don't know, коленопреклонение, you know, bending her knees in Irina's honor, as far as her strength is concerned, and she was so good as a mom, as a wife.
Когда я узнала о ее страшной беде, о ее болезни, и как я видела, мне дети рассказывали, как она с этим боролась, мужественно.
And when Svetlana found out about the illness, the disease, and we were explaining her how Irina was fighting it, and it was really, you know, the strength, it was really amazing.
Я восхищена ей прежде как матерью, потому что все, что она делала в этой борьбе, это было для ее сына, конечно, в первую очередь.
And of course, she was, you know, fighting for her life, first of all, to make certain that her son was okay, and so of course, growing, and well, you know, and so of course, Svetlana Ivanovna was really amazed about her Irina's feelings as a mother, looking after her son and really fighting the impossibles to look after her son.
Кроме того, она, конечно, человек очень талантливый. Я поэтому сразу присела сюда к вам, чтобы посмотреть ваши глаза. Это вы ее друзья, потому что я всегда плачу, когда слушаю ее песни, когда что-то про нее слышу. Она для меня такой идеальный человек.
She was a very talented person, and also she was an ideal person from the point of view of Svetlana Ivanovna. Well, she was talented, and now Svetlana Ivanovna is always crying when she is listening to Irina's songs, her music, because we actually quite often put it on the phone.
Конечно, буду про нее рассказывать обязательно.
And of course, with Svetlana Ivanovna being a teacher still in her 82 years, she will be telling about Irina to her pupils. She just actually had a lesson on Zoom an hour ago, and she was telling about Irina to her pupils.
Я твердо верю, что пока человек кто-то помнит,
because
он живет.
of course, Svetlana Ivanovna, we all believe that whilst people remember another person, she is alive.
Спасибо, что вы меня послушали. Простите мои слезы.
Thank you very much for listening to Svetlana Ivanovna. And she's not drinking too much, but she was raised she was raised a toast, or not a toast, but really raise a glass to remember Irina. And yes, and thank you very much. Thank you very much, Irina's friends, and Svetlana Ivanovna loves you all because you are Irina's friends. Cheers! Well, that's for Irina. People who are joining us, we're speaking, and we decided to raise toast to Irina to remember her.
Да, поменем.
Это да.
Поменем, да. Поставлю лабиринт.
Hello, Eldar. We just everybody said great thanks to you for the video, because really we sort of felt that we were there, and that was really something. Yep.
Спасибо маме.
Да, мамуля ушла. Ирочка маму очень любила. Она говорит, у меня мама рядом как все ведет. Можно я обниму мамочку?
Не знаешь, такое ощущение просто семейное, правда. Спасибо маме, я понимаю, что это ей тоже столько нервов стоило, да. Но именно вот ощущение семьи возникло. Спасибо, что она нашла силы в себе прийти и сесть за стол.
I don't know.
Потихонечку,
Probably,
I'm just
probably
switching.
everyone will say a couple of words. I agree that Irina is like an example for all of her strengths, her sincereness, her generosity, and she was a very good friend. You always could talk about everything, and she was not politically correct. She was saying the truth, and but always in a good way. I mean, Irina was fantastic and so creative.
She is fantastic to us.
Yeah.
We
So creative,
Talk
not
to
only
her.
the songs, but even her style of working and her style. I remember she was interested in gems. Yeah, so she was gem herself, really. And your amazing skirt made out of ties. Yeah.
Vasilina, tell us more about what Irina was doing on the Russian. Oh, I mean, yeah. Please. Not speaking about Irina.
Wow, she was. He was one of our, driving forces behind the Russian Insurance Club from about mid-90s, and with Samson and with John Metcalf and with Rister and with everybody else, and Oakshott, of course. We were planning each annual Christmas lunch in January, always selecting new topics, fancy dress, music, competitions, how to support the Belarusian Children's Hospice,
Yes.
how to get people engaged, the jokes and things like that, photos. Everything. When we would go and scout, check out different restaurants to make sure that, they had the capacity and the food. And
It was hard.
I remember we always had the, discussions after, how the party went and what were the good points and what we could work and improve on next year and things like that. Absolutely. And I remember Irina distributing Nahodkari magazine at the Russian Club.
Mm-hmm.
He would bring 3-4 copies to various meetings at the Emperor Bar and was distributing them. And she was the main sort of editor and contributor, and most of us have written articles for the magazine at one point or another, including John Metcalf and Simon Aubrey-Jones and myself, and then Zora started bringing Mafia magazine as well. And published books.
No, Mafia is good, but it's official magazine that don't speak about it. More about Irina.
Yeah, and the various publications with Irina Postnikova and Anya Fadeeva.
Yeah, it was a good magazine, actually. Probably one of the best magazines in Russian language.
Yeah, and Irina put various travel notes there. I remember one especially sunny and cheerful one on St. Lucia, on the
that's right.
trip when she and David traveled to St. Lucia. I remember.
David, was it your first travel to St. Lucia or?
Yes, it was. Correct. I haven't been to St. Lucia before. Well, it was the first Caribbean island we went to. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And you traveled quite a lot, yeah? You loved long destinations, probably. Yeah, because every time you were somewhere far.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we did like Greece, and I think we did like Greek islands, but as you're saying, sometimes if we visited the Far East, so the Holka to Irina's, parents in, near Vladivostok, if you're in the Far East, it makes sense to then go on to someone like to Japan or Korea, because it seems a shame to go all that way and not, you know, how can I put it, go on to China or something. So I'm sure we went to places I wouldn't normally, I don't know, envisaged kind of thing.
Yes, but that's very much the same, because me and my junior daughter, smaller daughter, number 4, we now visit places like China, you know, America, and so forth. But the first idea was actually Irina's. Irina said, "Let's go Japan." So we fly from here, from Spain to Korea first, and to Japan. Met David, Irina, and Alex in Fukuoka, and then we already separately, after absolutely fantastic 4 or 5 days in the Southern Island in Kyushu. Us we traveled to Tokyo, to different places, and since then we went for 3 years with my daughter, 2 of us, because Irina taught us how to do it. Katya is not very much a flyer. And we started flying to America, to China, to America again, and that was all due to Irina's idea. So me and my junior daughter, we visited nearly all the important countries because of that. Because Irina said, yeah, absolutely, because Irina said, "Oh, Japan, no problem, we'll do you the, you know," and said, "Oh, I'm going to drive there," because David decided not to drive. Irina didn't want to drive, and I was driving, and Irina said, "No problem, I'll explain you how." And really, after she explained it, it was very nice and simple. And as I'm saying, since then, actually this year we missed, but we're going next year, and it's all, we're always calling it sort of Irina Ford's inspired travel. Okay.
Want to say something?
Ludmila is very good, although at the moment in Russian, in that she is the only person describing different points in Irina's life. Because of course Ludmila is Irina's cousin, and she's known her for the last 25 years, yeah. But she's also very good because I'm putting her stories gradually. There's been 4 of them so far, 4 or 5. And also Irina's brother, he's not with us because he is in Komi, somewhere in Komi part of Russia. But as I say, Ludmila is doing this fantastic work of describing Irina's life, different points, different periods in Irina's life. And that's what I'm really, really urging everyone to do. Please, please, please send your short stories about how you remember Irina. Why? Something bright, you know. For us to even probably do a book, who knows? Because I think that we are doing it mostly for David, for Alex, but also for all of us. It's like Irina knew what was coming, and she did this fantastic last disc of 5 songs. I'm sorry they're in Russian, but they're really beautiful. And it's really up to Misha and Vasilina to finish it, because there are some more songs which were recorded in Moscow, but then kept in the studio. So Vasilina, tell more about it, or Misha, because Misha really financing it.
It doesn't matter, really, not much really. But for me, Irina was a really talented songwriter. I just felt she was good. Apart from she was good at person, her songs were original and very truth, I would say. It's pity, really. She just wanted to complete the album. I don't know.
She wanted to record even more. I think the studio were expecting to do 13 songs in total.
Yeah.
13
she was planning to continue on her trip to Russia, which never happened.
Yeah, in March she was going to record. She's done 10 fully, and the studio manager has got all that. He doesn't. I mean, he couldn't have access to them during the lockdown in Russia because the studio is in the center of Moscow and he's in somewhere in the countryside. Yeah, and the studio was closed. But as soon as they reopen, they will release all that on whatever media that is necessary, disc, etc. So, but that's 10 songs, and then they had 3 additional which were partially recorded, some remix. But the plan was to do 15, so and that's all under sort of under control, but subject to the studio reopening when they reopen. So we don't have any concerns, so we're pretty confident. And Irina had a very good relationship. She found them, she selected them, and I think they will deliver a good result.
I've been in the studio. I've been in the studio last autumn when Irina came to Moscow and spoke to the manager, and my impression was that they are really
professional.
They are professional, and they made a very good relationship. And working relationships with her, and she was eager to continue with them. And my impression was also that they were making good friends, so they will be interested to finish and to make maximum out of what is left to record. And I'm sure that they will do it when they are reopened.
I think she was planning to stay with you, Olga, yes? You're in Moscow visit your house, so.
Yeah, that's such a, well, to some extent it's such a shame she didn't go, but understandable that she didn't go in March because she was supposed to go on her birthday.
Hi, David. David, it's Oksana. Hi. David, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, okay. Actually, I mean, this is the first time I talked to you after she passed away, and I really want to say you that I'm really sorry, and with all my heart I'm with you. And there was no day, it's true, when I didn't remember Irina during these days, because I knew her since 1996, and we met each other when we were queuing in English embassy to vote for our president, for Yeltsin. And she simply came to me and asked, okay, you are Russian, where are you from? Why not to have lunch together in McDonald's? So our friendship started from this, and this actually was my first time when I went to McDonald's, and I will always remember that she selected nuggets, and I didn't know what are nuggets, and she said, okay, why don't you try them? And our friendship started in that McDonald's in London. And since that time, I think we had really good relationship. And, I visited your house many times, and Alex even stayed in our family for a New Year. And, Irina, for me, is like, I don't know, I can say she's a really strong woman, really strong. She was a very strong woman, and this is, let's say, we all Russian are strong, but she was even more stronger than an average woman in Russia. And actually, I hope actually to stay connected with you, and I hope that Alex will grow up a good guy, because he has such a good parents, and this mix of British and Russian, I think it should be a good. I hope that he will be actually, that you will help him to grow up a good guy. And I just want to share with you, maybe, you of course know this story, but several years ago, Alex came to us to Moscow to stay for, New Year. You remember?
I
He
do,
was
yeah.
10. Yes, he was so small. He was 10, and he was crying every night. You know, like my son, my daughter, my husband. We were actually in Moscow trying to, you know, we bought all kinds of tickets to the theater, to the swimming pool, everywhere, to the ice rink. But he was still crying, this poor guy, you know, without mother, without father, and actually, and the day for him, I think it was a good day when he was intended to go home to London. And I went to the theater with my husband, with my daughter and son, and my husband brought Alex to the airport. And the problem started there because
Yeah, we remember. Gosh,
you remember?
Irina called us. Ah, what the?
Yeah. And actually, yes, Alex was stopped at the border, and they didn't allow him to be ushered back to London, right? And Irina, she had to fly to pick him up in Moscow, and she flew to Moscow, and it was so cold. And when she arrived, I had to share my fur coat with her because, I mean, she was not ready. And this poor guy, Alex, you know, he was so happy to go back to London, and then he was stopped at the border. You know, he had to stay for several hours alone until my husband went back to the airport. But these guys, they didn't give Alex back to my husband. So he had to wait until Irina arrives. You remember this, David?
I do. I didn't realize Alex was crying because I see little happy pictures of him in the snow.
Oh, no. It was maybe during the day when there was lots of amusement, he was quite happy. But in the evening, he was crying, you know, I mean, missing his parents. It's true. And I can tell you one secret, that my daughter fall in love with him. You know, that's true. It's good that she cannot hear me now because she's riding a bicycle, but she fall in love, and she even started studying English after that. You know, said, okay, I will do my lessons. You know? Yeah, and so maybe I hope we will stay connected. I don't have your number, but I will ask George to share with me. So maybe one day if I'm in London, I will call you. And
oh yeah, sure.
And if you're in Moscow, please call us, and you can stay in our house. And also, the previous time Irina was in Moscow, and she was doing a concert. I was not in Moscow, but she stayed in our house. And my family shared with me that it was so difficult for her. You know, she used lots of pills, lots of advices, helped her to breathe, but she was still preparing for a concert. She was doing it for us. And for me, it was like, you know, I felt somewhere inside that probably this is her last goodbye to us. And it was so important to come to Russia for her last year. And she tried to do it in October, then for a new year, and then in March, and this corona stopped her. And so that summer concert, it was like a goodbye for all of us. And I unfortunately missed it, but I will. And you know, David, my favorite song of Irina is about you. You know, it is about you, honestly.
And what's it called?
It is called, like, you know, you are silent, you are not saying a lot, but I know that you love me. Yes, I know that you love me, and this is actually this is my favorite.
Yeah, that's very good.
This is my favorite because I know you. That when I was in London and I visited you, you were always silent. The only phrase I remember, I was making a salad for lunch, and it was coleslaw.
Irina was always doing all the talking.
And you came, and the only thing you said to me, and you asked me just one question: where is this coleslaw comes from? You probably don't remember, but this was the only one phrase. But Alex, this is my favorite song. And you know, our house is open. And if you one day decide to go to Russia, just call us. And also, you know, the only thing I was actually worried, it was strange for me why Irina didn't teach Alex Russian language. You know, She did.
Yes.
She
did. So Alex had private lessons with a Russian teacher, and he was progressing. You know, I mean, he seemed to. I mean, obviously, because you're young, you were. How can I put it? He definitely made progress, but unfortunately, he takes after me in the sense of he's not. I don't know what's the word. Inspired. You know, instead of carrying on, he sort of. What's the word? Sort of didn't continue. If that's the word. You know what I mean? So Irina did try. I mean, he certainly. Alex did certainly know his alphabet, and he could, you know, his pronunciation was pretty good, but unfortunately didn't, I don't know, persist or progress kind of thing, but he certainly did better than I did, but it's not for want of trying, unfortunately, and I did Russian lessons as well, but dare I say it, the only language I've seen I mean, at school, they weren't very impressed with my French, and they said, oh, you're gonna have to do Spanish. And funny enough, I seem okay on Spanish, but other languages, I'm not not good. I mean, Spanish is the only language I seem to, I don't know what's the words, seem to have an affinity for, or.
But really, David, I wanted to say this as well, because, you know, Alex is young. And we all understand that another foreign language is always, you know, an advantage. And we have 4 daughters, of whom some were trying to forget Russian, and then it turned out that they needed it. So I don't know if you two just sit down once a week and watch a film in Russian language with English subtitles, for him to listen to Russian language. It will be very good, because you know that all the famous Russian films in the studio called Moscow, they all have Russian English subtitles. So it will be really very, very good for Alex to at least, you know, keep, because we were feeding our daughter as well, the junior one, who is nearly the same age as Alex. She is not too actively speaking Russian. I mean, good thing.
No, Alex did. At school, he's doing French, but he's not. I don't know what's the word. Committed. You know, he's lost interest, but he has shown a bit of interest in learning Russian. Surprisingly, I was a bit surprised, but yeah. So maybe, as you're saying, he's just trying to be consistent or try and progress on it. So he has shown an interest in learning Russian kind of thing. But I don't know if at school they do Russian as a lesson. I'm not too sure. I can check. But
you need to actually learn it as such. It's just all you can do is, I'm saying, watch a couple of videos, you know, twice a month at least. I understand.
No. George, I have a better idea. He needs a Russian girlfriend. He can stay in touch with Masha, and they will go. Masha can study English. He can study Russian. So.
By the way, he proposed our Polina when he was 4.
You'll remember it, because they were brought up together. They had 2 weeks difference. And yes, actually, Alex said, "Oh, you're my future wife."
Yeah, he is standing on knee, and they have a photo even somewhere.
Yes,
have a proof.
But I think that our daughter withdrew her consent 2 or 3 years later.
Probably Alex as well.
Yes,
Yeah, they grown up, so he's free.
He's a beautiful boy. I mean,
Yeah,
and of
yeah,
course,
it was very funny. Yeah, so definitely, yeah, Russian speaking girlfriend will have. But David, what is he studying? He's studying drama.
sorry, he's studying.
Yeah, he's studying drama, drama school.
Oh, yeah, it's a Brit school, so they getting feedback from something. It's not
Probably
nice.
it's better to turn off the microphone if somebody is not speaking.
Yeah, somebody has the microphone.
Yeah, so Alex is in Brit school, and instead of doing sport, they do things like drama, but they do other normal lessons as well. So they do French, mathematics, English, history.
But drama as well, no?
Yeah, exactly. But they don't do any sport. So say you would do sport, they do, drama lessons kind of thing and plays.
That's why probably the idea of watching, movies would be good. We can send you links of good movies, for him, because it's another school. Russian drama school is very interesting.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'll do an experiment. If you all lose me, try to reconnect. I just want to put on some photos of Irina. We've tried. Huh?
Works. Yeah.
I thought this David sent as a the cactus.
David, tell about it, David.
So me and Irina were growing this cactus, and yesterday it flowered for the first time this year. So it's it's growing in our conservatory, and as I said, it's scented, and it's sort of, I think it's sort of open, I don't know what to say. It's a scented cactus kind of thing. So as I said, it opened yesterday.
Ludmila, where are you?
I try to understand in which order she's here. I think about 13.
13?
I think so.
Oh, she's grown up.
15 probably.
Give her 15, please.
16. 15.
No. It isn't 16 in any case.
Find Irina quickly.
Oh my God.
Oh, no.
David.
Это вообще где?
А наверху?
She's a teacher. She's a teacher.
Это когда вообще?
That was sent by her student.
Goodness me.
No.
Come on. At the top. At the top. Look at the top row.
I can see.
Да.
No, не могу.
On the right?
Third on the right.
Third on the right. Third on the right. Right. With a beautiful hair.
Yes.
As she always had.
Hey. David. Would you know? Ludmila. 4 years? 5 years?
It's about 2. Yeah. I think it's about 2 years because she was so clever. She looks like older than she was.
Really?
Yeah. She was clever from the first day, as I wrote. Look, what is the eyes?
Yeah, absolutely.
No comments? Where and when?
No.
All right.
Not long ago. It's really funny.
Very nice. This we know, 2013 in our home in London.
Yeah, Vasilina was there as well. You remember Vasilina?
Yes. Yeah, I remember this hat from the Russian Insurance Club hat party as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
We did
the popular hat. Yeah.
2000s? Probably 2000s. Olga!
Nice.
Yes, this is in when we met before visiting this studio, which we're talking just talked about in October 2019.
Recently.
Yes.
It looked so fantastic. Well, you do as well, but yeah, I thought that was about 3-5 years ago. Oh my God.
Irina planned this recordings and work, and we met just before in the morning to have breakfast. And Sretinka, yes, it's just the very center, Moscow. So and then she went to sing, and she asked me if I want to see the studio. Of course I wanted, and we saw, and I have some pictures when I'm sitting at the all this system of very complicated system of all this studio equipment, and feeling myself as a real singer. And then at that time I was speaking with the guy, the manager in the studio.
Alexander Birman.
Yes, Alexander.
Hey, Alex!
Oh, look.
And Alex looks like himself, David. Can you see it?
Yeah.
It's very much his, I don't know, eyes, nose, even hair. You can understand it. David did such a nice gift for us, because we had a photo, Katya and Irina, and two children being like 3 or 4 weeks older. Okay, I was 6 weeks older and Alex 4 weeks old. And then we did the same when they were 10 years. And they were already, let's say, 2/3 the size of mom's. And we did one last year when they were 15. So at least we kept like three photos, and David did us a very nice.
It's their first meeting.
No, that's me, of course.
No, I mean our children. So we're tiny, really tiny. Okay.
Right. Yay! David, where is it? In your home or where?
Yeah, the settee, it's definitely home, yeah.
Irina is tired, obviously.
Yeah, and Alex as well.
Good. Olga, some bits.
Yes, this was it was a real adventure when we just decided at once. You know how it sometimes such travels planned or not planned. So Irina was always very fond of this quick and adventurous decisions. So she said, "Let's go," and we immediately, almost in few hours, like surveying practice, you know, George. In 2 hours you are somewhere. So we went to St. Peter and spent a very nice time there. It's 2002 year. So.
Very young, but fantastic. Olga works in our insurance sphere, so she is used to sort of Irina taking very quick decisions in insurance. But David, you should know, yes, that of course in our Russian-Ukrainian world, even Kazakhstan, Irina was one of the most strict underwriters. When
she was always logical.
Yeah,
she
was
always
just logical,
no,
but very stern, very strict. And when we wanted something from her, whether it was from Nahotkari or from Generali or even QB, you remember, to get her to do something, it was really, really needed, like to pass a very hard exam in a university. So we had to be very prepared, very well prepared. And to go to her and say, Irina, please do it for us. Oh, just prove me that I should do it for you. So she was always a very good teacher on the insurance side. Although I spent like 10 years more than her in insurance, but still.
She was underwriter.
I was always going to,
Only once I was not very happy with Irina because it was a conference and she started to work in Generali. I think it was in Moscow, and she started her speech about, you know, saving money for insurance company, and her first idea was to cut broker's commission. I said, what, Irina?
We're brokers, come on.
That's a sacrilege. Sacrilege.
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely.
You can't touch that. Yeah.
David.
Where
Oh,
is
that's
it?
a nice one.
Yeah.
Nice.
Do you remember? Where is it?
I don't, but it looks like an Orthodox. Oh, no, start again. Orthodox. I don't know. Russian church, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. There are eagles there, crowned eagles on the side.
That's something very, very interesting.
Yeah.
That's I think that's Dmitry Gololobov, who was working with her during her first Irina, you would probably know, her first training courses 96, 95 in London. So sitting together, it was Irina who took a photo of Dmitry, and unfortunately Dmitry didn't take photo of Irina, but that's probably her first visit to London.
Oh yeah, under the Chancellor scheme when she came to train with Willis. Yeah, under the Chancellor scheme, quite a lot of people came. A few hundred people.
Right.
Yeah.
Read the description of Ludmila's story, how Irina got there. Really, really strong thing. And that's again from Dmitry Gololobov. That's where they were sitting, and that's I think where they lived as trainees. I don't know which part of London it is.
Дмитрий Голубов, не юрист.
Наверное, дома.
That's actually the list of songs which Irina did. As always, very, very, very sort of organized, because, for instance, in blue, she put those which she wanted to record first, then green second, and blue and white third. But really, I feel that my task and our task with Vasilina and Misha to try to get them all, and at least
we'll try.
Listen to all of them.
We'll try what we can salvage from Moscow.
Yeah,
I think my biggest concern is that whenever we get access, I mean physical access to the city, it's just up to goodwill of the owners of the studio.
Yeah, the studio.
Yeah. But so far we had a couple of discussions, quite friendly. I agree.
Because really there is a list, and some of the songs I've never heard, and I'd love to hear them even without physical, even without although of course these 5 songs with the music are the wine and the spoon, and all these songs for me they're really something fantastic, because the studio added their guitar player and violin player. The music is so rich.
May I add something to that? When there was a concert in Nakhodka, Irina started because of her maybe not very well condition, and it was very difficult to fly and to sing. She started to sing romances with professional accompaniment. And at that time we exchanged views about that, and I said that she's a fantastic singer of romances. She never put so much effort in that. It was in summer last year, and she noticed it itself that for her it's very important to sing with a professional, because the hands are free from the instrument, and it's easy to give more emotions on that her own, and put more strength into the voice and more emotions into the voice. So and because of this, it was a fantastic combination, and I
So
said that
maybe it was
I'm
yours,
fond of your,
Ira.
and I said her that I'm fond of your romances more than of her other songs, that she has to continue to record and to sing romances of her own, and this album, the last one, is really shows how she was good at emotion romance, Russian romance. It's really the top of, and this professional accompaniment is really good, very, very high quality. You know.
Although, of course, we were thinking that she was a rock singer. Yes. David,
At first, but then,
when did you restarted the rock singing? Which year it was?
I think with pops, you mean?
No, with the guys, yeah.
I think maybe Louisa can sort of say, because she joined sort of like in Epsom. There's the Rock Academy, whereby you can sort of live your rock and roll dreams. You know, like you join a band and you can sing great or play guitar, but obviously Irina could sing, she could play guitar, and she could play the keyboards. So that's being quite versatile. So so maybe that, you know, how can I put it, inspired her, kind of thing, to do more. Louisa, so what do you remember her?
I certainly do. I remember because I was already a member of Realistic Rock when she joined. And, you know, we did have people coming and going, but there was always a core of people that had been there for a very long time. And myself and Karen, another friend of hers, we were a bit of a threesome for a few years, and we often met up for coffee or lunch or something like that outside of rock school. But in rock school, I remember when she joined, you know, she came and she was so quiet. She didn't say anything to anybody. She just got on her guitar. She just played very quietly. And then as the term went on, she started to say what she thought about things and giving her opinion. And it was quite like, oh, wow. Oh, my goodness, really? Because she's so blunt. And, and of course, you know, everybody there, everybody's tiptoeing around each other. And a lot of the time, they do give people the opportunity, even people who are terrible musicians like me, the opportunity to do something different and interesting. But Irina wasn't having any of it. If somebody was off key or if somebody wasn't on the time, she would just say, you know, what's wrong?
Absolutely, yeah.
It's great because
Louisa, same in insurance.
No, same in friendship as well.
And in friendship, yeah.
She was very.
It's wonderful. I absolutely loved her bluntness. I loved the fact.
Yeah, it's so good.
Point, you know, and she said it like it is. And it was wonderful when I introduced her to my other half. You know, they hit it off straight away. And she included him in one of her songs as well. In one of her songs, she wrote about a motorbike because he rides.
Yeah.
He was on the phone and saying, "What do you call this and what do you call that?" and everything. It was really quite funny, but she was great to work with, and she stayed on at rock school, and she did really well. And the fact that she ended up not only playing the guitar but playing the bass. And that really suited her, you know, because
I never knew it. Yeah.
Rhythmic. So and then she even did some of piano. And then for a short while, some of the ladies from Realistic Rock, because it was always very male dominated. And then at one stage, some of us girls decided, actually, we're going to do it on our own. You know, the sisters are going to do it for themselves. So we got together for a little while and sort of played music together, and we called ourselves the Sisters. And it was really, she was so up for it, and
Listen, when did it all start? Which year? Do you remember? 17, 16, 18?
Oh gosh, David, when did she join Realistic? Because it was really one term in and she was part of the furniture already. She had everybody eating out of her hand.
I can't remember, to be honest. As you're saying, it seems to, certainly seems, well, I say a long time. You know what I mean? She seems to have been there for definitely a few years and she really enjoyed it. But when she first went, like, as you say, 1915, 14, I just can't remember.
Yeah, I think 15.
So a while ago, really.
Yeah, I think 15.
And I mean, she was always looking for concerts to go to. You know, you're talking about the rock and roll side of Irina. We did go to some concerts together, and she was always sending out, oh, so and so is playing here and so is playing there. And so we did go to a few really good concerts. I couldn't go to all of them, but we did do a good few. And even, you know, after she got sick, we went to see Caro Emerald at Hampton Court.
Yeah, we did.
And I think that was an amazing evening out. I mean, it rained, and we were just out there singing in the rain. And I
dancing.
Had a picture, but I can't find it. Were some of you there?
I was, yeah.
It was a lovely concert, wasn't it?
It was great. Yeah. Absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
The Irina music was for quite a while, and in 2013 she made me and Katya an absolutely fantastic present, a gift for my birthday. She bought us Leonard Cohen concert tickets.
Yeah.
So we flight from Spain back to London. We went to Leonard Cohen because I love him absolutely.
Amazing gift.
Yes, absolutely. But that was because really Irina knew music and she knew how I loved Cohen all my life, probably the last 40 or 45 years. And so she was kind enough to get the tickets for us. And say one of the greatest experiences in music we had due to her. Ludmila, tell us about this. Is that you?
Yeah, it was interesting. I went to Nakhodka when I was 22. Here I'm 22 and Ira 15. And I went to Nakhodka from St. Petersburg, and I told her about some Leningrad and I think that it was a time when she has taken this decision to do more than did me, because she wanted to be better and better. And after,
okay,
and
my sister went to St. Petersburg, so what? I'll go to London.
yeah. Many years ago, she told me, okay, you did it, but I wanted to do more than you. And I decided that London is a wonderful aim for me, and I will do it. And she did it.
Fantastic. Yeah, that's what the strength is. Yeah, Irina's strength, and it's completely fantastic.
That's her.
Yeah, and every time, and after this learning in London, she decided to stay in London. And I asked her, why? It's so complicated in London, alone. Why don't you want to go back to Moscow? She told, no, it's interesting for me to do something new. I don't want to repeat what I have already done. And it was her principle of her life. Every time to do something new.
Yes.
And every time she told me, oh, I have already worked in London. I think the next aim should be probably in Swiss. Yeah, I will try to find job in Swiss. No, it was in Swiss. I had to learn German. Oh gosh, I don't want to learn German. Okay, but it's also interesting. Probably I can work in Moscow. It could be also interesting.
I remember. She was waiting
No, but
for Generali to
she
take over
was
Indestra.
simultaneously learning Spanish and Italian. Yes,
Yeah.
David.
No, first Spanish and then Italian when she went to
David.
Generali.
Oh yeah, she did Spanish, and then Katy is right, and then Italian
I remember.
as night class. So
So
and she did night class, whereby, and I think from what I can understand, she was quite good. You know, her tutor was very impressed.
Ah, that's very good.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah, very clever.
Alexander, and do you remember when Irina started like a dining club in her area? When was it? 4 or 5 years ago, David? With ladies cooking?
Well, there was a period we visited people, houses, and as you rightly saying, we all came up with different dishes, or you know what I mean. But it didn't. I don't know what's the word last, but we did have an attempt. You know, as you're saying, everyone had their sort of like thing. I don't know. You know, like invite people, and then you would produce a meal of some kind.
Irina.
Come dine with me. Epson version.
Yeah.
I remember that in Generali, Irina also made like a club, cooking club, when the people came with their own dishes from home, and they made a party. Is that right?
Yeah. She was bringing something. I think on Friday she was bringing.
Yes. She suggested that they cook at home different interesting things, and they decided theme parties, cooking parties at Generali.
Yeah, I remember her borscht. The borscht was amazing, absolute piece de resistance. You know.
I remember the borscht.
Remember the borscht? Yeah.
Yeah.
Borscht played a big role. This borscht played a big role. Irina, probably David can tell about this story, how Irina prepared cooked this borscht for mother of David. And mother was so wondering of Irina, and she told David, it could be the best wife for you. And that's why I think that the borscht.
Baba Yaga.
Yeah.
Baba Yaga photo from the Russian club fairy tale party. Fairy tale.
All these parties were really the idea of Vasilina and Irina. Every
themes and
every year something different. For instance, on top you have glasses. Then next year it would be wigs and hats. Then the Russian fairy tales and so forth.
Yeah, ties.
Vasilina,
yeah, the ties, exactly. John Metcalf. Everybody's looking so young.
Well, it's about 20 years ago.
No.
More like 10, but yeah.
Oh, well.
Really well.
Who is counting?
Riska Talas.
This is all.
That's 20.
Yeah, Irina is taking pictures of somebody with a very sophisticated camera there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, that's Oriental.
That was the golden party.
That's golden, and the down there is what, Romanovs? 300
Yeah,
Romanovs?
that was downstairs. Yeah, below that is the Romanov party. Absolutely right.
100 years of Romanov dynasty.
Yeah.
Okay. That's Moscow recently, I understand. If anyone knows, so probably, I don't know.
Yes, it's last summer concert in Moscow.
Our good friend Dmitry. Yeah. So she was singing, yeah? Aye. Very good.
Yeah, we're lucky to visit her concert when it was last winter, yeah?
Yeah. Oля, no, это Оля Larionova, they were good friends. Unfortunately, she's not with us also, Olga, but Asko, look at the Asko thing.
95.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she also died of cancer, didn't she?
I think it was blood disease, something like.
Was it blood?
It was very unexpected and very fast. somehow.
Yeah, absolutely. Just she never told anyone. And okay, Russian club. Again. Ludmila, family.
Yeah, it's in Leningrad. Yeah, it's our from the side of my father.
Oh, Ludmila, can you tell us a little bit? I forgot to ask about Irina's Jewish roots and yeah, the family Jewish roots.
Kharkov.
It's easy. Normally we say that we are the sister, but I'm Jewish and she's Russian, and nobody can understand it. My mother is a sister of mother of Irina, and my mother is half Jewish, half Russian. And my mother, my father is full Jewish. That is why I'm more Jewish than Russian. But the father of Ira is Russian or Ukrainian. I don't know exactly because he didn't know exactly. I asked him, and he was also half Ukrainian, half Russian, something like that. And that is why at the end, Ira has this part of Jewish blood and Russian and Greek skin. I miss
We understand you are German speaking. Don't speak German to us, but we understand what you mean.
Sorry. And I mean that she has such a wonderful mix in the blood, and that is why I think that she's so talented, because normally people say that this mix brings something special.
Mila, I only needed 25 years to find out about the Ukrainian part. She never told us, because we lived in Ukraine, and Ira came. I don't remember whether she came to see us in Ukraine, but
I think Irina told me once that her quota is dominating.
fine. But it's not.
Well, I think the confusion comes from your father's side, who's from Crimea, and it is Ukrainian or Russian, just for you to decide.
And whereabouts in the Crimea?
Well, that I don't remember. We had a discussion about the certain events in Crimea a few years ago, and due to the positive attitude towards this, I think she considers that the father is more Russian than Ukrainian. But exactly which part I just don't remember.
I know her mother was Ludmila. Your mother and her mother were from Kharkov, right?
No.
No.
Kharkov, she absolved the uni, but really she was from Yaroslavl. The father, the grandpa was the best partnoy. I don't know who to translate.
Taylor.
Was the best partner, and we have such a story in our family that he was the best, and his house stayed for a long time in Yaroslavl. But something before our revolution, the Tsar went through Yaroslavl, and something happened with his clothes. And the first who was ordered, it was our grandpa to correct this problem with the clothes of the Tsar. And that is why I told Ira, you have your quality, your special thing she could do. She prepared when I was in Nakhodka, and she was only 15. And she told me, oh, I can't see what strange clothes do you have. I will do for you something other. And from the small piece of material, she prepared some wonderful clothes for me. And I told her, yeah, naturally, I have such a feeling that only you have such a wonderful parents. I don't have such
No,
a...
she could work as a tailor as well. That's another.
But she's skirt. You remember she's skirt?
Oh, really? I never knew it. Oh. Gosh. Hey. Let's go further. Hey.
Good old photos.
Ludmila, she was saying she was small, but she was the leader. Yes.
Yeah, she was a leader. Absolutely. Nobody can strike with her. She told, and it will be only as she told.
Moscow, that's beautiful. If you don't have this disc, try to obtain it. It's absolutely fantastic disc. One of the best in the world. 5 songs only, but it's really, really, really good. One of our, well, old time, 2002. See Irina singing to the Russian club. Veselina, that's you here?
Yeah, this is in Tbilisi restaurant.
Georgian restaurant,
Tbilisi.
yeah.
In a Georgian restaurant,
Yeah.
yeah.
Katya was there, it was by the river, you remember, by the channel.
Yeah, this is in Little Georgia, in E2, sort of Whitechapel towards the Canary Wharf area, yeah.
Funny enough, that was one of the first times that Irina decided to sing to, you know, international audience. Because that's Michael, the Georgian here.
Captain Misha,
John Metcalf, lots of, I mean, they're all friends.
Yeah. That was a jolly good party.
Yeah, very good one.
Yes.
We continued, we went to a pub, I remember.
Yes.
But we didn't have enough. And that's, of course, last April, is it? Yeah, a year ago, I think.
Yeah.
We remember this place in
a pub downstairs.
Yes, I remember.
That's Bologna, that's with our friends in Kent. 50 years! Oh gosh, such a good party in Montenegro. In, what it was called? Budva, not Budva, don't remember. What's the name of the town? It was really good.
Oh, that's the Russian club party with Lesia and Robert Woodthorpe Brown.
Yeah, but it's a party or what? Irina is wearing some kind of
monarchy. Yeah, I think it's another summer party. Yeah.
That's we've seen already. That's
That's also from the Russian club with Lena Jones and Lisa. Yeah.
We had an 8th March celebration. It was really hot.
Yeah. Oh my God.
The Oriental party.
This is the Oriental party, yes.
But Irina came wearing the thing up to here, and we didn't recognize her. So,
no, we didn't.
No, we didn't. And
the oppressed women of the Orient, yeah.
Yeah, and we started asking, is that Irina or not? And she was silent for about half an hour on an hour, and then George, here on the left, he
took the knife out.
Greek American, he came up to her and said, "I'll kill you if you don't speak." And then she said, "Oh, I'm an Oriental woman. I'm not supposed to speak at all until a man let me speak." So she said, "Yes, I am Irina." So funny, about probably 10 years ago in Oriental Club, yeah?
At the Oriental Club, yeah, definitely.
We went, that was a funny one, we went to Bruges with 2 of our small ones. See, they're 4 or 5 years old. Irina, Katya, and senior daughter. And that was in Brugge. I was also driving, so we had a few problems with our small car crossing back because English couldn't understand how 6 people could get into a small car, which was a Honda. But again, it was Irina's idea. Oh, let's go to the winter market in Bruges. So we just Brugge. So we just drove to Brugge. We picked her up on the way, and Alex and spent 1 or 2 days there. That was really something. Hey.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the outrageous wigs.
Wigs and hats. It was wigs and hats party, I think.
Yeah, that's right.
Baden-Baden, 2002 or 2003. I told Ludmila about how we were thinking together, because Katya and me were flight there via München. And we went to the center of Munich. We chose some particular pub, and that was a huge pub, like they do, I don't know, Löwenbräu or whatever. And in the 4 rooms downstairs, we chose 1 room, particular, sat down, turned around, and it turned out that Irina was sitting next to us at the next table.
Yeah,
so having made 4 choices, we Russians, we told to each other, we Russians always think the same way. You know, Munich, the center of Munich, the pub, the room in the pub, and then the table. That's not there. That's already in Baden-Baden 2 or 3 days later. But sort of, it was one of the best sort of surprises when we're turning 2 of us, you know, ordering beer, the huge ones, German beers, turning around. Irina sitting with her colleague from Nahod Korea. Very funny.
With John Metcalf.
Yes, one of the Russian clubs. Hi, Irina, David, you visiting us first time in Denia 2011 in Spain?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Seen that. Hey, Olga. There you are.
I could, yes, somewhere in Moscow on some insurance conference, I believe. Which one?
Probably Peter
I don't
Müller
remember, of course.
Peter Müller, yes.
It's Peter Müller,
Peter
yeah.
Insurance.
Peter Müller, Ludmila worked for Munich Versicherung. Елена, Ella Platonova, yes. Jena Reinsurance Conference. That's Nahod Korea party, I think 2006. One. Sorry, they're small ones. Give me bigger. Okay, I don't have too many bigger ones.
That's the last one I took of Irina and Simon at the concert in December. Yeah.
Such a good concert it was. Fantastic.
That was a beautiful one.
Yeah, that's I took pictures of.
Yeah, it was fantastic guy. Gosh, and he was very inspired by Irina as well.
Where did he find her, Louisa? You would know, no?
I don't know this person.
I think Polina, the owner of the venue, Polina Kogan. I think she found him because they do weekly concerts there. They're professional performers. Her husband is a cellist and she is a pianist.
Yeah. So this gentleman, I don't remember, because he was simultaneously playing, you know, pipe and piano. First time
he was amazing.
He was amazing, definitely amazing. He was a great performer.
And Irina really was tired, but so she lay for a while, and then she came back and this girl of course was well. The owner.
That's Alec Kogan. Yeah.
We know.
This is the summer Russian club party at Holman Fenwick's.
Last year.
Yeah. Yes, that's right. That's with Linda, with Rachel, with Lena Parker, and Yelena. Sorry, Irina Brandret, yeah, and Irina Brandret. That was a big fundraiser for the Russian, Belarusian Children's Hospice.
Yeah.
I remember I took this picture. That's at the Gruzzers in June when Irina did a wonderful concert. And Volodya Feinstein played the piano as well a bit. And William Bruy came, and Katya was there, and Svetlana. Yeah, remember Katya?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I missed
And
it.
Palina was there as well. Yeah.
It was all these concerts.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw that. All the photos are taken on at that concert.
Yeah, that was good.
There should be a good one with Yulia. Yulia, remember that one? Yeah.
Our daughter did it years ago.
Yeah, it was school, so.
Well, I like it very
But
much.
well, the hands are here.
Chicken.
Chicken, yes, and the flowers and the
Flowers, chicken. Yes, the backyard.
You have to now put a some plaque there saying Irina's Memorial Garden. Okay, I know that you and Irina loved it very much, and
Yeah, growing some strange plants.
but it
Not
was
strange
really
as well.
beautiful. Yeah,
It was beautiful.
Hey.
Oh, he has kids.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
But
not
Alex,
long ago.
Alex has grown so much since then. It was last summer. Alex is completely different now.
Yeah. It's in Irina in hospital.
He's more grown up.
Yeah, it's at the concert in April.
That's April concert.
Yeah, I remember they're taking these pictures too. Yeah, exactly.
And I think it's your pictures. That's why
I like
they're
this
smaller.
one. Yeah, it's a good one.
They
Really nice one. That's at the Russian Club party as well.
Yeah, and that's December 2018.
That's
Fantastic one. So you all know that we have this.
Russian Club party.
We have this Dropbox. Please.
Now it's a battle of the bands.
Was it Battle of the Bands? No, I think that this one. I wasn't sure that that's the December 2018.
Yes.
Epsom, but what's the next one to Epsom? But what I mean is that I'm collecting these photographs in Dropbox. So if you want to download something, just send me your email address, and I've already separated, because if you don't have professional Dropbox, you can't open a folder where there are videos. So I separated videos from photos, and photos you can open always and add something. Because it's so nice when David is adding, very nice, and so quite Olga Regorodskaya, Vasilina sent me something for this Dropbox collection. So I really want to get more photographs of Irina there.
I've got some photos to send you.
Which ones?
No, I have some lovely photos of Irina that I can send to add to your collection.
This, or just send me your email address, and then
right.
you'll be able to download it on Dropbox yourself. It's nice and simple. You just get that will be very good, because I'm putting them on Facebook on Irina's page from time to time, together with Ludmila's memoirs of Irina. And really, it was so good if somebody would be writing even a short one, like what we were talking today. If you write down what we were talking about today, Misha, Vasilina.
Yeah, it's in your house. Yeah, absolutely. We look at the concert.
Yeah, that's again the Bologna where we went. Gosh, I nearly lost my hearing, because it was an actual rock concert, and I'm saying Irina spoke with this lady as a professional. Lady immediately recognized Irina as a professional rock singer, and they were talking some things which I don't even know about. And I'm also very glad that we had my birthday party here, in which Katya arranged actually in, well, what, 3-4 years ago. And there was a group, Underwood, and again, one of the two, Maxim, immediately recognized Irina as a professional colleague, yes, and then Maxim actually invited Irina to their concert in St. Pete's, to their concert in Moscow, and so forth. So it was very, very pleasant that the professional musicians, you know, the professional rockers, were immediately recognizing Irina as one of theirs. That's okay. That's, yeah, there will be a lot of I'm sorry.
Yeah, it was Bologna trip.
Bologna, Florence.
Yeah, and they climbed the bell tower. It's amazing.
I mean, I've been in
It
Florence.
was 2019 and
18. December 2018.
December
yeah.
2018.
Because I was in Florence, I don't know, 10, 15, 20 times, and I never knew that if you want to go up the dome, you actually have to walk. And it's very hard to buy tickets. So knowing that Irina was coming, I bought tickets in advance. We walk in, and they said, "Sorry, you have to go up." I said, "Oh my gosh, Irina, can you?"
By mistake, you bought tickets to
No, but
to the top.
And I said, "Irina, can you do it?" And then I couldn't catch up with her because she was nearly running. You know, oh gosh, I'm a trained person. How come? So that was quite funny. That's all. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's the only possibility when you can see the dome of Santa Maria dei Fiori from inside. Yeah, and that's our favorite places. It's very nice in December. Not so many people in Florence, so that's the best time really to come. All right, sorry. So, yep, hey, David. David, when was it? I can't. Which year was it, David?
We got married in 1998, I believe.
Actually,
Ludmila, how come you never came here? There, Ludmila.
I think it was just simple.
Sorry, how much?
Okay.
Sorry, I didn't catch your words.
I'm saying, how come you never came to the wedding?
She did.
She did. Are you were there?
Yes, she was at the wedding.
Oh, Irina, Ludmila, where's your photograph? Prove it. Prove it.
Well, she was taking the pictures.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, we need more of the wedding photographs. They're so beautiful. Where is that? Anybody knows?
You know, drinking something like Aperol.
No, it's not Aperol. Aperol is more orange.
Or no. Comparing, I don't know.
Ah, that last one was in Kingston. Yeah.
Who took this mysterious photograph? Because you can.
I think I took that photo.
Louisa, and what did you do with it? Because it's see the letters are vice versa.
I don't know how that happened.
Was it a mirror or what?
I don't know. I've got other pictures of us there, but none of them are back to front, so I don't know how that happened.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
very nice picture it was.
Yeah,
that one of the best.
It was a lovely lunch.
And David, that would be not too long ago, no? David, what do you think?
As you're saying, I doubt it was more than maybe 1 year ago, maybe.
Fantastic.
Yeah, very beautiful photo.
One of the best, yeah.
Professional, but it's
Yeah, Russian party. That's George's birthday party. There?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
That's our eternal photographer. He's 85 years old or something like this now. Okay, sorry, they're all small.
Russian club. Yeah.
yeah, I think it dots or not.
Yeah, that was
Yeah, the previous one was yeah. This is the polka dot party. Yeah.
Irina has serious polka dots.
Yeah, exactly.
No, that was good.
It's near your home, David, no? Oh, no.
No,
No,
it's in Munich.
Munich.
Yeah.
It's an English garden.
I was there in '93.
It's the last place of my papa, and I brought him to this place to show.
It's a beautiful place, yeah, in Munich. I remember it. Oh. Where's that? Who knows? Anybody? Okay, that's beautiful. I just like these photos. We don't know. Hey!
somewhere in Santa Lucia.
2009.
No, I think it's Dominican Republic.
Wow.
Dominican Republic.
Yeah, Dominican Republic. Gosh, you've traveled to so many places. God, lucky. This one is a good one.
Absolutely fantastic.
Hey, I to see it.
Actually, the expression of face is the same like a little Irina somewhere previous, yeah, when she was very cheeky.
Yes, absolutely. Hey, Olga, I think it's from you. No? 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 No, probably not.
London.
London, and this is probably Hiva Castle. Probably.
This one is epic.
Yes, absolutely. Hey. What was that?
Lloyd's.
Visiting?
Lloyd's. Yeah. Looks like Lloyd's to me.
Yeah, absolutely, it's Lloyd's.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful one. I love
Good
it.
one. Yeah.
Very. It should be actually in London, yeah.
Yeah, post office. That city.
Do you know? Probably, Vasilin, it's the place where we now have a Russian club.
Ah, yes.
How you call it?
Looks a bit like, yeah, White Kenneth Street, yeah.
Yeah, so it wasn't long ago.
Oh,
Yeah?
near Oldgate, yeah. Maybe not sure. Not sure.
Beautiful photo. Strange one.
It's after here, I think.
Oops. Okay, we're finished.
Yes.
Wow. Lovely.
Yeah, that's lovely.
Those were lovely.
Yeah.
Well raised.
Yes.
Irina once again, and
yeah.
Really.
We're looking forward to seeing everybody in person when the travel restrictions are lifted and
crazy times. It's weird.
Yes.
Never,
All depends on the government, but I think, for instance, Olga and us and Anya, yes.
Germany is opening.
We are told that, for instance, Spain will be letting people back. Anya Budko, just a second. We'll admit Anya Budko. Spain will be letting people back in October. Which means that if we, for instance,
it's something crazy a little bit.
If we leave Spain, then we'll never be able to go back. And Anya, привет. Excuse me that I couldn't get you in, but we were watching photos. Anya Budko, all the way from Kiev, Ukraine. Привет, привет, привет.
Nice to see you.
We already. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Anya, so sorry we were more or less saying goodbye. And, but raising if somebody wants, not raising if nobody wants, but really remembering Irina. Of course, we want to do the, as we call it, celebration of Irina's life. No, being practical, I think it's November, December. Yes, David.
Yeah,
Sorry?
we don't know.
I'm sorry, I'm saying that being quite practical, we understand it's either November, December, or we can do it even if we are not let into England until November. Well, we can do it at Irina's birthday on March, or still do it November, December. It's completely up to David.
No, it's completely up to our governments because.
No, well, governments, yes, but also.
The borders are just closed. I heard that Spain is opening borders. Partly, partly on 15th of June, but only for Schengen zone and only for, I don't know, diplomatic, some.
No, that's the normal. Everybody understands that.
Well, we'll see how it goes. Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely. But
We'll see how it goes.
We'll be doing it. We'll get as many people as possible. Of course, people who can fly will come over. And my idea is probably, Luis, you will be probably, Luisa, you will be probably the most important person, but because we'll need to get all the musicians together.
I know that they are already talking about having a gig in Irina's name. With everybody playing and paying tribute to Irina as well. There's been talk about that, so.
Good.
Again, if they can wait for us,
we'll probably not. But just
when
be
we're
sure
we're able to come
you
from
make
abroad.
a video to share with us.
Yes, yeah, they will be.
But of course, because we
Can you keep me in the loop, Lou?
Yes, I will, Julia.
Thank you.
I'm not one of the central people who's talking about this, but Karen is in the know. Karen will have.
But you have to push them. You'll be our contact person.
Okay.
Let us know, because really, yeah, we understand it could be that the guys decide to do it separately. But if we manage to do it all together, as I'm saying, if they let us in November, fine. Let's do it in November, for instance, or whatever.
Yeah.
If not, well, we understand perfectly well that.
Yeah.
Depend on us.
I will put in the word already. So I think as soon as we can all get together in one venue, that would be the time to do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
That would be great.
Yeah.
Hey, thank you very much, everyone.
Спасибо, Жорочка.
Спасибо.
Thank you.
Ань, дорогая, рада была тебя услышать. Хорошая.
Всем.
Спасибо, Джордж.
David and really David, tell us. David, always tell us. If you want to see us all again, we can do it in 2 months' time, 1 month's time, you know.
Okay, I'll bear that in mind.
But then everybody else has to prepare the photographs. See?
See you soon, David.
Or send them,
Story.
or send them to my
To prepare a story. I
or
don't
to
know.
prepare, and please start writing stories, because it's only Ludmila, Olga, and somebody else who did some stories. Luisa, please, you know so much. Just put it down on paper, not on paper, on electronic carriers. Anya, you can do it as well, because you, Irina's Anya is one of the also very well-known persons in reinsurance. So
In Ukraine, yeah.
In Ukraine, and she's really sort of professionally, she was very much Irina's size, Irina's level.
And style, probably.
And style, very much the same. So tell us in Russian, don't worry, in Russian.
How long do you know Irina? When you first met her, Anya?
Wow.
Maybe from Nahod Karim.
Okay.
I'll tell you, Anya.
But always it's very good meeting in Baden-Baden. Always when Irina go to Baden-Baden, I remember this meeting It was very happy and very interesting.
I'll tell you that I know exactly, because Irina was the first lady and you were the second, to whom I told that I was divorcing and marrying Katya, and that was during 2001. So you sort of my two friends to whom I was able to sort of say a secret, but Ira was the first.
Confide.
Yes, absolutely.
I think Ira should approve.
Ira met Katya in June 2001. So I told her before that, probably in December 2000. And you, but by that time you already knew each other.
I think we with
George introduced us to Irina in 2004.
2004, see?
Yeah. You said when we moved to Epsom, and you said that your very good friend is also living in Epsom.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep, absolutely.
Yes. Irina was very good friends, and I know Irina maybe more time than David Ford. And sometimes we talk about Alex, talk about Paulina.
Yes, our daughter.
Yes, Irina was very, very good friends. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, she was
Very
Absolutely.
Georgi, maybe you remember when your celebration your birthday, and we have some very good excursion.
Excursion, yeah.
To Valencia. Yes.
No, but I've shown the photographs. I've shown the photographs. That was just 3 years ago. Yes.
All people was very, very happy, and Irina was happy too.
Yeah.
So
Very singing. That's what I'm saying. The professional singers still remember her from that time, because she was always, and she was singing immediately. Even when we were dancing here in our home, and she got a guitar. It was 11 o'clock in the morning. She got a guitar, started playing, and we were actually dancing to her guitar. No, that was something.
What an amazing person.
Oh, absolutely amazing. Okay, yeah, David.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, David.
And our hugs to Alex.
Yes. We know how teenagers are, because of course, for instance, our daughter Paulina has known Irina since she was born. But okay, fine. But it's so hard to persuade them to be present. I'm sorry about this, but we understand. David, please try to watch one video in Russian.
Okay.
At least once a week.
Stop torturing him.
We'll send the link. But they're good movies. It's not torture.
Julia, but we should be trying. Julia, you live not too far away. Please. Give him a call. No, because Ludmila wrote him an email and he never replied, being a teenager, because there was lots of...
I have a son of 15, so I know exactly how David feels.
Absolutely. Okay, guys. It was nice to see you all.
Very nice to see you all. Yes, David, thanks very much
Thank you.
for coming over. We've done it.
It was nice to meet some persons.
We've been together with Ludmila and David for 2 hours, 20 minutes.
Yeah, absolutely.
We think we have to write to Zoom, just to say that it's probably kind of a record for them. Okay, I'm sorry I'm pressing the red button.
Okay.
Okay, guys, good night.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
Take care. Take care. Say hello to Alex. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye, everyone.
Bye.
Yes.
Yeah.